Hey, everyone. How are you doing today? Right. Today, we are going to talk about what you need to do if you want to make some positive progress. Okay, whether this is personally, professionally, in your relationships, in your career, in your wellness, in your spirituality, all of the things you are going to have to take this into account. All righty. I'm just going to pull up the chat here in case I see anyone. If you're on, go ahead and say hello. If not, we'll just go ahead and get started. All right. So, if you want to make positive progress, one thing you're going to have to do is to make sacrifices. Okay. And I think when I hear make sacrifices, for some reason, I get this like overwhelming sensation that you have to give up everything, right? And so when I say make sacrifices, I'm not saying that you won't have to give anything up. You definitely have to give something up, but it's not everything all of the time, right? So when I used to, when I was a server, we would go out for drinks after work. And sometimes we'd stay out too late, right? Life of a server or a bartender. And so I would always like say this thing about being hungover like, I can go out and I can drink, right? And I can either go out early and go to bed early. So, like, thinking about if I had to work the next day, right? I'd be like, so I can go out early, I can drink, and if I go to bed early, I can make it to work okay and make it through my day, right? Or I can stay up late and not drink and get up and make it to work. So I'm like, okay, I can do lots of drinking and get lots of sleep, or I can do no drinking and get little sleep. But I can't do both. Like that was just, I learned that it was like, I can't do both. So I can either go out early, drink early, and get plenty of sleep before the next day, or I can just not drink and stay up late and still make it to work. But I can't do tired and hungover, right? I can do hungover and I can do tired, but I could not do tired and hungover. And so to me, that's kind of how I see sacrifices, right? When we're trying to make positive progress, right? So a lot of times it's like, you know, we can sacrifice. So maybe you're sacrificing your time, right? Maybe you're sacrificing money. But where we get caught up and where we feel like we're not making progress is when we have to sacrifice time and money, right? And so when we're thinking about the sacrifices we're making, the first thing we need to think about is what are our priorities, right? And what do we value, right? Because sometimes it's not going to be the same thing all of the time, right? Sometimes we might have to sacrifice some of our family time, right? We might have to sacrifice some of our time with friends, right? But that doesn't mean that we're always sacrificing family time or we're always sacrificing time with friends. Um, but in order to know when we're sacrificing and what we're sacrificing, we need to know, um, and I'm using sacrificing a lot. We need to know that when we do something, the choices we make, there's an opportunity cost and there's something we're giving up. And a lot of times we get stuck in this hamster wheel where we feel like we're not making positive progress in our life, or maybe we're even backsliding, is because we're not necessarily bringing intentionality to the things that we're giving up, right? Like if you Like my example of like going out. Am I giving up sleep or am I giving up alcohol? Right? So for me, one of the things that I gave up in really trying to grow and make progress is I really stopped going out to kind of the bar scene, right? And having that social time. So I sacrificed that. But um, I had my priorities and my values in mind, right? I told myself, yes, I'm sacrificing this time with friends and family. But what I get in return is I feel fine the next day. I'm not hungover. I can make progress towards my goals, right? I can still take care of myself and I could still socialize with the people I want to spend time with, but I'm not having to sacrifice how I feel the next day, right? Um, or like if you do decide to go out, know that you're sacrificing being able to wake up early, get your laundry done, get your house cleaning done, spend time with your kids, right? Or maybe you're sacrificing the sleep and how energized you are or how good you feel. Okay. So, really, if you want to make that positive progress, you have to know that one, you're sacrificing anyways, you're giving up something anyways. It's really being purposeful about knowing what are you giving up, being intentional about what you're giving up, right? And then also choosing where you want to go so that when you do give something up, you know the reason why behind that, right? And then also talking about that, getting over that fear of missing out, which we're going to talk about in a couple of days, um, is another one. So, to me, that is one way to really make positive progress is to pay attention to what you're saying yes to and what you're giving up at any given time. Right? Alrighty. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you next time. If you have any questions or thoughts about that, I would love to hear it in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye bye.